All right, so today we're here, we're going to take a look at putting some EIFS on this wall today with Forconi Borgiano. I think that's close.
That's close enough.
And we're going to show the different steps of how to apply EIFS. Before we get underway, I really just want to talk for a moment about making sure you've done all of your homework, your submittal process, that we've gotten those approvals done, that we've coordinated with the substrate and make sure that it's compatible. We want to do all of the items to coordinate with the other trims, the windows and the flashings that they've got to put in place. We want to make sure that we've taken all of those steps before we ever start, and then we confirm we've got those approved materials here on site. We want to follow those manufacturers' applications to a T to make sure that their warranty is in place for this work, and take each step as it's prescribed to be taken. With that, I'm going to let these fellas get underway with showing us how to do the EIFS and the trim around a window.
All right, so as you can see on this wall, we have our Center Shield R product. It's a roll air barrier, and it's applicated to the thickness that our manufacturer recommends for this type of substrate. And we have an installed window after we've prepped this rough opening. This is a flange of the window. And then right over here, we have a window with the air barrier completely finished. As you see, we'll use a sheathing fabric tape fully embedded in Center Shield to cover these flanges. You can see the difference. And at the top, we have a head flashing to allow for any incidental moisture to weep out above any window. And it's also wrapped with the 4-inch sheathing fabric. On this completed window, you can see we have our back wrap mesh installed at this corner. And that's for manufacturer's recommendations to ensure the back, the inside, and the face are fully covered with mesh. And now we're gonna stick a piece of foam here. Since all this is completed, we're gonna show you how we're gonna apply this with our adhesive. Have a 1/2-inch notch trowel. So on this back of this foam, he's going to apply this adhesive. He's gonna apply it with this notch trowel with all the notches, all the channels going vertically. This is a channeled adhesive continuous insulation system. The channels of the adhesive is going to keep the foam board off of the wall just enough to allow for any incidental moisture to drain in behind it. That's why we have the flashing on top of the window. And that way no water can collect back there. And that way we'll let the system do its job if any incidental moisture finds its way in that wall. And we've stuck this corner piece to demonstrate how you do around the window at the corner to keep from any cracking. You don't want any joints at the corner, horizontal or vertically. That way it doesn't crack, just like the board joints would be on the substrate. And that's pretty much it for the installation for the vapor barrier and sticking the foam. From here, we would begin our base coat process. We'd pull the back wrap, start embedding our base coat in the mesh, and we have a wall in behind us that we're going to show for the base coat process, when it's completed, and the finished process when the wall is completed. So for this step, you can see we have our foam stuck as we did on the corner of the window. And this is our back wrap mesh that we had sticking out. We just took our base coat and we pulled that mesh, and this is going to start our brown coat process. So after this whole wall will be fully embedded in base coat and mesh. That'll give you your scratch coat and get you ready for your final finish coat. And above this panel here, we have plenty of finish coat on the wall to show you what it will look like when the whole system is finished. So we're going to show you how to wrap the flanges of the window after it's been installed. He's just going to cover the flanges first with the Center Shield product or whichever manufacturer that you're using. And then he's going to use this sheathing fabric. He's going to put the coat on first and then the sheathing fabric, and then he's going to go back over it with some more air barrier to make sure it's fully embedded. And this same process will go for the head of the window as well. And after all this is set up, typically you'd want to wait for this air barrier to dry. But just for demonstration purposes, we're going to show you the installation of the head flashing above the windows as well. He's laid down a bead of sealant to sit the head flashing in, depending on which kind of window. This is a flange window, so I didn't want to put any screws to void the warranty of the window manufacturer. So we're going to sit it in a bed of sealant. And then the top of the flashing is going to get the same as the flanged window to create the shingled effect for any water that may be needing to travel down the air barrier and escape at the top of the window. And now you're ready for your foam application of the drainable EIFS system. You have a fully vapor barrier window and window opening, and you're ready to stick some foam.